I never understood why people think you can't love Halloween and Christmas at the same time. They're both wonderful. You don't have to choose. Granted, I like Halloween season a little bit more because I think the movies are better, although there are some exceptions like Christmas Vacation, Elf, and of course Die Hard. But you can have the best of both worlds. You can watch a Christmas horror movie like Silent Night, Deadly Night. I've been familiar with this movie mainly because of its sequel. The incredible Garbage Day scene is forever etched into my brain. It's beautiful in its simplicity. This movie, the original, well, it's pure 80s schlock, but it's a bit deeper than you'd think. One fateful Christmas Eve night, a family goes to visit their father in a nursing home. The old man appears catatonic, but as soon as the family leaves and it's just the old man and the young kid, Billy, the grandfather tells the kid that Santa is evil and he punishes naughty kids even if they're only bad for a brief moment. Understandably, that freaks out the 6-year-old. I have to give the movie credit. The way it's played is extremely unnerving. Things start to fall apart on the way back home. The family comes across a man dressed as Santa who appears to be having some car trouble. They stop and he murders the father and tries to rape the mother before killing her because she fought back. Billy manages to hide in the woods, but he sees the whole disturbing scene, and it really screws him up. We pick up 2 years later, and Billy is now living in an orphanage run by an extremely strict Mother Superior who is very quick with punishments. Despite one of the nuns, Sister Margaret, understanding what Billy goes through every Christmas, Mother Superior doesn't listen and insists on beating the PTSD out of him. The movie doesn't spend too much time in the orphanage, but the short amount with his childhood is very effective. Billy doesn't remember his trauma, but it's just below the surface and it gets really bad this time of year. He's a good kid, and your heart breaks for him as he cowers in fear of the overbearing nun. We fast forward 10 years and Billy is now an adult. The caring nun, Sister Margaret, manages to get him a job as a stock boy in a toy shop, and Billy seems to be thriving. He's happy, he's a good worker, and is standing on solid ground for once. But when Christmas rolls around, he starts getting flashes of what happened all those years ago. To make matters worse, he's forced to play Santa for the kids on Christmas Eve that is as awkward as you can imagine. Billy then completely loses it when he sees the second attempted rape in this movie. He snaps and merges his belief that Santa punishes naughty people and Mother Superior's mantra that punishment is good. Upon reflecting though, as much as Sister Margaret was trying to help, she really picked a bad place for him to work. She knows he's a very different person around Christmas time, so giving him a job at a toy store, even if it's as a stock boy, probably isn't the best thing for his mental health. Outside of the original Wolfman and to a lesser extent Clown, I don't feel much sympathy for monsters. I just want them to get on with it and move the plot ahead. But Billy? I was happy for him when he got the job. I wanted him to have a happy life. You watch what he went through, and it's just awful. When he gets a job that seems to be well liked, you're glad because he's definitely earned it. It actually makes his turn to madness more sad than anything. I genuinely felt bad for the guy. For a not great movie, it really nails the character. But because this was the 80s, reaction to this movie was out of control. People hated the idea of a murdering Santa. It was pulled from theaters just 2 weeks after it came out because parents thought it would scare their children. Constant wet blanket Gene Siskel read the names of the cast and production crew of this movie on his show and berated them for making it. All that uproar about a murderous Santa when a similar plot, Christmas Evil, came out 4 years prior and got nowhere near the hate. It's not good by any stretch, but it does have some good stuff in it. Billy is likable and his turn is believable and sadly inevitable. It's entertaining enough and the camera work is surprisingly good for a movie like this. 6.5 Dr. Chainsaws.